Good morning, everybody. Welcome to pre-market update and happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all enjoyed with your family, and hopefully this weekend will be great for you. And let's see how things are going. This is Nasdaq futures, and you can see our selling price will come and attract this white line. And now we're in the middle. We don't do anything actually here. All right. We'll be looking to buy below 24,000, and if it goes above 26,000, that will be a good area to short. So this is like a no trade zone in the middle. Okay, so this is what VWAP is telling us. Let's look at some other charts and see how things are going. This is linear regression, and same thing here. Linear regression is right in the middle. We don't do anything here, and let's go to US 100 and see how things are going there. Same thing here on US 100 as well. So yeah, we wait for it to go below in this box to buy. This is a neutral zone. It's just a chop zone. If it goes above in this red box, white above white line, that's a good area to sell. All right, or short the market. Um, what else? Point of control chart. This is US 500. So you can see point of control is here around 67.83, and you can see very thin structure here, and then they are also going it higher. So also on the top side there is point of control around 68.41. So there are two things. If they want to drop it, probably next support is here around 67.82, this area here, and then if they want to pump it, it's right above 68.42. So I think where we are right now, probably around 0.2 to 3.23% possibility upside, and then downside risk is around 0.64. So market could reverse, guys. So just be careful, and we'll review gaps now and see what are the potential opportunities. And then this is the last chart I want to see. I want to see it. I want to look to buy in these green lines. Okay, I don't want to buy here because we are reaching a midterm election, and eventually we're going to be here at some point. So the green lines from the top. First green line is about 10% away. Second green line is about 15% away. So we'll see at some point in future. Could take 3-4 months. I don't know how long, but I know definitely will be lower here in future. Okay, will be lower than where we are. So let's not chase this rally. Let it do its thing. All right, so let's look at Nasdaq day trading chart and futures. There were some issues with future, and you can see there was a little bit gap here, but let's ignore it. Futures are telling us it's right in the resistance area. Some data was missing, but let's see. Whatever it's saying, it's fine. But maybe we'll just do an analysis based on daily chart. So daily chart is telling us it's above all moving averages. Okay, so that's a very good positive news. Now, if I show you gaps, if I go to 1 hour chart on Nasdaq, all right. So there's this slight gap. I don't know if it's really a gap. Yeah, like slight gap here on Wednesday. All right, and we got three sell signals, and then they kept it like just hold it there. But anyhow, there is a gap right overhead around 25,489, and then there's one gap there and one bigger gap here around 24,376. I'm expecting all these gaps to fill. We had a 7 count SPY signal on daily chart, cash market, and then it pumped. But just remember, okay, I know there are gaps at the top, so it's obviously we can fill those, but there are so many gaps at the bottom as well, guys. You can see just from gap perspective, if we even look at daily major gaps, there's a major gap here, major gap here. Okay, and then also a major gap here. So just from daily perspective, so first major gap, which is here, is about 13% away. Second major gap is here, which is about 20% away, and third major gap is here about 27% away. All right, so these are the downside risks possible. And then even if you go to weekly chart, like let's say this previous support, which is around here 22,214 at minimum, at some point in future, maybe next year, will be there at least 11 to 12% down. Okay, where they will find some support on this weekly chart here. So that's the possibility, and it is very real possibility. You can see we are getting a sell signal weekly on MNQ futures, and a drawdown on weekly from top to bottom is, you can see here, 17%. Here it took a while, so I think that could happen here. Took a couple of weeks later, and then a dump. So this was 27%. Okay, here it was not weekly, this was 13% here. You can see same thing here. It gave you a sell signal, but then it continued higher for more weeks and then had a massive bear market. So just remember, we haven't touched this 50 moving average on weekly for a while. Last time we touched was here, April 2025, and then August 2024, and then here October. So we are pretty much getting near to probably topping out sooner than later. So just wanted to let you know, don't get ultra aggressive buying here. Just be patient and make sure you have cash. Don't get sucked into this rally. Just remember upside potential versus downside risk. Okay. And now this morning, triple Q, if I go to 1 hour chart, they're opening on a slight gap up here. So probably they could go, if they really want to drive this market higher from where we closed, they could go almost 0.96% higher, or inversely they can come down to fill this gap, which is around 0.66% lower. Okay, and that's why it should hold, because there's so many moving averages here, but if they cannot hold that, then we're going 3% lower here. So that's on Qs. SPY looks like they want to fill this gap at market open. This gap right overhead here, that's the only gap we have on SPY. Okay, so probably they're going to fill that gap from where we closed yesterday, or day before yesterday, 0.46% higher, and then also there's a downside gap which is around 0.5%, so they could reverse it anytime, and then lower gaps are here around 2.71%. So early week of December is usually a little bit of downside dip based on seasonality. Sorry, just be aware of that. Okay, these are futures on S&P 500 and Nasdaq. Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin is again in the resistance sell area. I was telling everybody Bitcoin could go back test this 50 moving average. Okay, you can see whenever we go down, here we broke down and then back tested and even try to go above, fake out, and then drop it. Okay, so it really, if they really want, they can even like pull it higher, maybe go above 102, 103K, make everybody happy that bottom is in, and then they can drop it. So just be careful. I don't want to chase Bitcoin and this rally. I let it do its thing. Um, so that's where we are. Gold also needs to make a new high above 42.50, or needs to make a new low below 39.55 to let us know what way it's gonna go. Right now, it's kind of just chopping around everywhere. Crude oil is also in the buy zone. Look to buy the dip, guys. I do expect another dump, maybe mid-December, and then that will be the bottom. It all depends on Ukraine. Maybe there will be a peace this year between Ukraine and Russia, and then that will be a trigger for oil to drop, and then that will wait, and then it will recover. So let's see how it plays out. VIX is also crashing. Looks like it filled this gap, so let's see where it wants to go. I have no buy or sell signals since we got this 7 count sell. It's just crashing since then. USD Canadian is pretty interesting. I'm looking to buy maybe this one. Forex, do some forex trading. Sitting on right nice support here actually. Let's see weekly chart. Weekly is getting a sell signal, so that's not good. But daily is telling us it's coming to some support. Even 4 hour is like near some support here. So let's see anyhow. Let's continue going. Tesla, again, there are gaps, so looks like it wants to go fill this gap. And then that's it. And then just remember, guys, you have to be very, very patient. Okay, Tesla, there was a gap here when it gapped down. Even here, you can see clearly on daily, and it took us more than a year. So this was in January 2025. All right. To fill this gap, it took us September 2025. So 9 months of just this full activity. So it did nothing for 9 months to just get break even. So there are gaps at the bottom. It could take a long time. It could take 9 months. So this gap was in September 2025. Okay, so it could take some time next year to fill, but When you know there are so many gaps at the down, why are you worried? Why are you worried? Just ignore this price action, let it do its thing. Because whenever they dump, it's gonna be a quick dump. Same thing on Nvidia. Okay, there are gaps. There is this stop gap on Nvidia around 206, but do you really think it's gonna go there this year? So from here, that is about 14-15% away. But there are also downside gap. You can see here on Nvidia, very major gaps here on daily. You can see one gap here, one gap here, one gap here, gap here. Like so many gap. You just unbelievable. And on top of that, we are getting a weekly sell signal on Nvidia. Every time we get weekly sell signal, you know what the percentage drop is? Here was weekly sell signal, 35% here, 42% here. So let's even take as 35% from top for now. That will take us to at minimum 137. Okay, 40% will take us to what? 120s. All right, and there is also this gap. So if Nvidia goes down, market will go down. So do not be a hero and try to chase this rally. There's not a lot of structure here. If it breaks down here, it's coming right to this 200 moving average. Okay. Apple with divergences, new high divergence, ignore it. Google also a blow off top look. So again, you don't want to chase this. Look how far this is on weekly from moving averages. This is not you want to chase. You can see here, same thing happened, and then look how much percentage down it went, top to bottom, 23% here. See, whenever there is this parabolic move, you can see this was a bear market, but again, this parabolic move, boom, parabolic move, boom. So the point is, Google to chase does not make sense, especially with so many gaps. Just ignore it. Microsoft could be a good buy now, but there is a gap up. It happened on last trading session, so I'm sure it's going to come back to fill that gap at some point. This pump is just holiday pump. People are happy. Low volume main traders are not here on vacation, so that's why today could be a green day as well. But eventually, just remember like the downside risk on all these major stocks, guys. Like look at avgo. Like look at this, just straight up. Like Meta also had couple of gap ups, so if you made money, it's great with 7 count SPY signal, but just be patient and know the downside risk. Even Netflix gave buy signal, got rally, but we do need to come back to fill this gap. Look and see Netflix 1 hour gap. We need to come back. Okay. Bond market looks all right. Above all moving averages price, so TLT is looking all right. Nothing to worry about. Natural gas, big gap here. I don't like that. Silver also just going straight up. Eventually it should come to 38, maybe at this area around 40. We'll see. Like you can see weekly chart on silver, very, very parabolic, guys. This is crazy. So let it do its thing. If you made money, great, congrats to you, but I'm not gonna chase any of this. Copper also above all moving averages looking all right. Dollar now. Dollar, if it starts to pick up, that's not gonna be good for stocks, okay? So just remember dollar is coming closer to support, so could be getting ready for a rally too. Same thing, Shopify also above all moving averages is good, but a break below can take to fill this gap. There are no gaps at the top, okay? There are gaps at the bottom, so we'll see what way they want to drive it. Palantir is also after 7 count SPY signal pumping. AMD entered this gap. Um, if it gets rejected here, eventually this gap will be filled. So let it do its thing. Don't worry about this, but it will come back down. Look at service now, man. Looks so bad. Could be coming to fill some of these gaps. Um, okay, I think that's about it. You can see Lilly healthcare sector. Oh my God, just a parabolic move. You don't want to chase these moves when it's so overbought. Let it calm down. Let it calm down. ISRG, big gap here. UNH. UNH is pretty interesting actually. Like it did not pump too much, did not dump too much. Just I think it's breaking out, back testing, maybe probably here. The only issue I have with UNH is this big gap here. That's the only issue I have. Okay, guys, that's it for today. VIX is trying to be green. We'll see how it goes. If there are any particular stocks you want me to review next video, let me know. And if you want to join my subscription, there's a Discord link. I share Bitcoin levels for free. Other levels, you need to be subscribed to YouTube. And if you do subscribe, let me know your user ID in Discord channel or comment on this video so I can move you to member section where I share levels for NASDAQ, S&P 500 and stocks I buy and sell. Everything I tell you with exactly buy price and the time I bought it. Okay, and you're gonna be very profitable. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one.